Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2026 BMW M2. This model is finished off in an individual color called Java Green Metallic, and the MSRP starts just over $68,000. We have a very unique spec to showcase for today, and we'll start off with what this is powered by. Underneath the hood, you'll find the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin turbo engine. This model here is paired to the 6-speed manual, so it pumps out 473 horsepower, 406 pound-feet of torque. Its rear-wheel drive, 0 to 60 is going to be just under 4 seconds, and it has a top speed of 177 miles an hour. Now, as we work our way to the exterior styling, you'll notice a lot of squared shaped designs up front, including the kidney grille with that separation with the bodywork. There's forward sensors and a lot more cutouts down below with more of the rectangular accents there. There's also a dark housing for the LEDs and then some nice bulges coming down the hood. I think it gives it a great front end design, and it's very functional too. Now, this is also paired with these silver wheels along with the red M Sport brakes. And then there's gloss black for the power folding side mirrors with a turn signal, gloss black on the window trim, and then the carbon fiber roof. There's also a flush design for the door handles, and the M2 really has a factory wide body design to it, especially with this rear fender arch and the lower side skirt, how it pokes out slightly. I think it gives it a great look. Now, this also has a small body colored spoiler, dark housing for the lights, backup camera, parking sensors, and the quad tip exhaust. The manual does not offer a remote start, so the only other control on the key fob is the release for the trunk, or just use the one up underneath. Now, with this being a coupe, it is still practical. You have a good bit of space in back. You can fold down the back seats as well, and then you have a cargo net on one side. No storage under the floor, but you have some tie downs too, and you have a good bit of space. You could make this a practical coupe with the amount of space in back. And as we work our way to the interior, there's this neat trim accent on the back, memory seating adjustments, window controls, side mirror adjustments, trunk release, and storage. Now, this M2 is also paired with the carbon fiber bucket seats. So you have the blue and red accents, the leather, and Alcantara, and then they're automatic, so all those adjustments are on the side. There's one manual release where you can move the backrest, and then the seat will work its way forwards, allowing you to hop in to the back. So this is a 4-seater, and at 5'10", it's not terrible. You have vents in the middle, there's storage here. I have plenty of leg room. I am touching the headliner, however. So this would be great for a car seat for small kids. If you want a practical vehicle and you have a family, this is something that is definitely oriented towards that. I could ride around town, maybe not on a long road trip, but you have the option to put people in the back, which I think is great. So you don't have to sacrifice having a performance vehicle and having a practicality. And then as we hop in, full Alcantara steering wheel with the flat bottom design, M1 and M2. Let's start this up now. On the left side, there's all the cruise control settings. Right side, there's volume tuning, Bluetooth and voice commands, and then you can go through the digital gauge cluster. So there's a lot of information to pull up, different vitals, different stats. You can go through all this just depending on what you would like to see. And then there's also a head-up display. So you can go through a few settings there. Headlight adjustments, dimmer switch for the gauges are on the left, along with one air vent. This also has Harman Kardon for the audio. And then with the infotainment system, everything in the lower section is fixed. You can also use the controls down below to further get into all of this. This features the M Drift Analyzer, so you can monitor all of those stats as needed. And then you can go through Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, your climate adjustments, and all of your lighting too. The home screen is going to provide you with all of these widgets here, and you can customize them as needed. You have a shortcut to the climates, the map and navigation, music, and then heated seats, heated steering wheel, and temperature adjustments. There's carbon fiber underneath that with ambient lighting and vents, volume tuning, hazards, and defrosters. Underneath the carbon fiber lid, there's storage with cup holders and auxiliaries. And then when you put this into reverse, you get the backup camera, and of course you have the parking sensors along with your automatic parking and even backup assistance, which is neat. Now there's parking sensors, engine start stop. You also have setup. This is how you can configure M1 and M2 and go through all of these settings and have them ready to go. M mode is also going to allow you to go into sport or track, and it will change both the gauge cluster and the head-up display. You can still also cycle through information on this left side, which I think is really neat to see. So you can pull up some more performance-oriented information at the same time. There's the exhaust e-brake, traction control, you get wireless charging and an auxiliary along with a locking glove box. And then there's garage door buttons and dome lights. And then plenty of visibility. Lots of glass in both directions to easily be able to see. And still in the sport settings from second gear, here we go. And a minor acceleration, we're up to speed. And this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the BMW M2. One thing I want to touch briefly on, the size of this screen here. I know we do get a lot of comments from people about this screen. Honestly, I went from a 2022 X5 to the latest LCI with this screen, and I haven't looked back. This is so much nicer in my opinion. It's very easy to use, and its sizing within the vehicle, I think, matches it well. So yes, it's a large screen. It's something different. It's not the dual screen setup, but personally, it is so much better than the previous model. And of course, that's just my opinion, but from after my ownership, that is still my opinion of them. Regardless of that, I wouldn't let this screen deter you from buying this car. Obviously, you could go with a previous generation if you wanted that separate screen, but this M2 is a phenomenal vehicle. It's also very easy to maneuver as well, so the turning radius is great. One thing that you can't get on this car, however, is the 360 camera system. You can get that on the M4. That is going to cost you a significantly more, but it just depends on what you're looking for. Obviously, that wouldn't be probably necessarily a deal breaker, but you do get some more features like that on the M4 if you're looking for a little bit more tech. But with this model here, this is something to drive to work and then drive straight to the track. From the factory, you are ready to go. So a perfect vehicle, I think, performance-wise, if you want something that's luxury-focused as well. All of the M tech and characteristics is what BMW is known for, and they definitely make the ultimate driving machine. Well, that is going to wrap it up for this manual M2. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and smash that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.